Hey, what's going on, everybody? I got to use my crappy onboard camera. See if this light makes it too bright. Let's see, maybe this will help. Not really. Maybe over here. Too much light over there. Anyway, hoping somebody can hear me. If somebody's watching, looks like Fred is watching. So just got out of the theater from watching Rise of Skywalker. Um, See if maybe a couple more people come on. Can give me some questions. But yeah, let me just go into this reaction. Um, Not as bad as people are making it out to be quite honest with you. The movie was rushed. I don't want to echo a lot of what people were talking about. Um, hey, what's up, Eli? Excuse me. Um, I don't want to echo a lot of what has been said by online film critics and pundits, but I kind of have to because they are correct in a lot of things. Personally, this wasn't the dumpster fire I was expecting. From reading, I went ahead and read the reviews and watched a lot of the spoiler reviews. Wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. Now, for sure, this movie was definitely made to try to put everything back on course that JJ started in the Force Awakens, and that Ryan Johnson pretty much derailed in The Last Jedi. I've had no problem saying I hate The Last Jedi. This the one Star Wars movie that's like at the bottom of the list. I think it's worse than the Clone Wars animated movie. Just my opinion. You're welcome to yours. You may disagree. Just like with one of my friends who's on here right now. Um, you know, he dislikes the JJ Star Trek universe. I really like it. I like what they did with the Enterprise. That's a whole nother story, whatnot. But that's what we talk about. Um, was it rude to Johnson? What Eli is saying. You kind of have to be, because in this movie you can see where J.J. Abrams was trying to take Star Wars, and how Johnson totally derailed it. He totally derailed it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Still, the movie's pretty good. If you've read the spoilers, it's a lot of them are correct, a lot of them are wrong. Um, and what a lot of the movie pundits have said, kind of off track. Um, but yeah, just to reiterate again, um, no, I understand, Eli. Yeah, that was a comment you had read that it was rude to Johnson. It is, but you kind of had to be. Like I said, I just didn't like the Last Jedi. I know people said they liked it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like a lot of it. Just didn't make sense to me. I'll go into my whole review of the whole Skywalker saga at some point, probably next weekend, or maybe this weekend, maybe even Sunday. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink because I didn't drink enough soda at the theater. But so what happens in this movie, without going into spoilers? There was a lot of course correction. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Lando cameo, it could have done without it. That was pure fan service. It was more like, hey, let's go ahead and stick Billy D in here because we don't have very many of the original characters left. Um, there's a heartbreaking moment with Chewbacca, really heartbreaking, where even I started to shed a tear. And I'm pretty sure you may have heard what that is. I'm not going to say what it is, but there is a heartbreaking moment there. Um, the stuff about Palpatine, if it was a good attempt, and I don't want to use the word bold because a lot of critics are saying that it was a bold. The movie takes bold attempts, bold this, bold that. No, if we would have known what was going on from the Force Awakens and not wait till this third movie, oh surprise! I think it would have made this whole trilogy a whole lot better. There would have been a whole lot more suspense in it. This is something Palpatine should have been revealed in the Force Awakens. I mean, to be quite honest with you. The member berries, from what Fred is saying, member berries. There is a lot of nostalgia, fan service things in this movie. There's no doubt about it. But again, I think that was more because they were, Lucasfilm was kind of painted in a corner when it came to what they had to do with the story, considering what happened with the Last Jedi, and they're trying to win back fans. Um, will this win back all the fans that didn't like the Last Jedi? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's good. It's not bad. There's okay. I'm gonna spoil one thing for you. Kind of, sort of. A lot of the pundits are saying that this movie's more like a video game scavenger hunt, and they are correct in that. It is very much so a scavenger hunt. Um, there's one point where Kylo finds out information, but somehow at the same exact time, the Resistance finds out the same exact information in more detail. And it's just like, what the hell? How did they get the info before Kylo gets it? But Kylo was there first, but somehow the whole Resistance knows about this. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Let's see. Steve, will it win back all the OG fans? No, probably not. If you want to watch it, I'm not going to say not to watch the movie. Because like I said, I liked it. It's not my favorite. It's not a satisfying ending to the Skywalker saga because it's very. I don't understand how this was even the Skywalker saga at all. Like I said, I think Ryan Johnson's The Last Jedi derailed the whole Skywalker saga angle of it. I mean, it can be with what happens in the film. You can say it's the end of the Skywalker saga, and the Rise of Skywalker. It makes more sense in this. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a title. There's no title of the Jedi Skywalker. It's not a title. You'll just have to see the end to understand it, and it made sense. It made sense. Rise of Skywalker. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, exactly, Eli. Would have been like I said, it would have been good if Palp had been revealed in the Last Jedi. Yeah, if they had revealed him a lot earlier in this trilogy, like I said, even in the Force Awakens, just even hinted at it, just hinted a little bit at it, it would have been giving you a whole lot more suspense. Like, okay, what the hell's? They didn't even have to show Palpatine. They could have just hinted that Palpatine was still around in some fashion or form. Would have put expectations at this level and kept you maybe about here, not like down, like after what's happened, but it would have kept you mildly interested. Like, okay, how the hell does Palpatine do it? Unfortunately, there's also a lot of this plot surrounding Palpatine that is called marketing and sales. There is definitely going to be a novel or two and several comics. I assure you, there's going to be quite a few of those that are going to fill in a lot of gaps that this movie has left you with. A whole lot of questions. Let's see here. Eli again. I bet he would have been if JJ had the second movie. Yes, I agree. If JJ had done the whole trilogy, I think expectation level. I think fan excitement would maybe be in the middle. Because like I said, I love the Force Awakens. I did love the movie. Well, I really liked the movie. Let's put it like that. But it was like a lot of people have said, just A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi wrapped into one movie. But still, it was a pretty decent flick. It really was. It was that whole, we went 30 years without Star Wars. So whatever we got on the big screen, we were more than happy to watch, and then we dissected it later. Let's see. Fred had spent the day watching reviews. I couldn't give them money after episode 8. I'm not going to argue with that one, but I will say if you can catch it at a matinee and not pay full price, it'd be worth it. It'd be worth your time and money. Good entertainment popcorn flick. I would say that. Um, we went 30 years thinking about and imagining Star Wars. No way to compete with that. And you know what, Eli? I had just had the discussion with my son Anakin about that. You're absolutely right. Um, and again, this whole trilogy, you can cherry pick it. I kind of like a lot of it. I don't like a lot of it. But at this point, I'm really digging my old expanded universe more than this trilogy. There were a lot of stinkers in the EU. Don't get me wrong. Like Children of the Jedi, that novel, I thought that sucked. I thought it was horrible. Some of the X-Wing series, it was kind of, whatever. Comics, there were way too many damn comics. Speaking of X-Wing, um, spoiler on this one, Wedge is in the movie. He's in the movie for a total of maybe 30 seconds, if that. And to me, it was a wasted opportunity. They could have done so much more with him. They could have done a hell of a lot more with Lando. But again, Lando was just looked like fan service. He kind of shows up there at a point where maybe he shouldn't have shown up, where they didn't need him. And then, him reuniting with Chewbacca, it was just like kind of lackluster. I was like, what, really? That's it? Let's see more of the chat here. Spent the day in 30 years. I'll wait to see it's free on Amazon Prime. I'm betting it's going to be on Disney Plus a lot sooner than that. Give it 3 months. I'm fairly certain it'll be on Disney Plus. Could I imagine if we got a Thrawn trilogy? Well, here's the thing. Thrawn, if we go with the iteration of Thrawn from Star Wars Rebels and the recent novels that Timothy Zahn has done, his retcon novels that he wrote, yes, absolutely. I didn't like the original Thrawn trilogy. I know, hate me if you want, whatever. I read them all when they first came out because, again, we had waited so long for Star Wars. But I did not like it. I didn't care for it too much, really, at all. I just read them and, okay, that was it. The new trilogy, however, the new novels and how it was presented in Rebels, masterful, perfect. Timothy Zahn and Dave Filoni, they made Thrawn more of a threat to me, more suspenseful, more just more of everything. And I really, really enjoyed it. I love that they got rid of the Yasamari or whatever you call those creatures that he had on the backpack. That always never really made sense to me. It did, but it didn't, and I just didn't like how it was used. And the Nagori, you know, the little gray guys that were always defending him and took up Lady Vader's side. Um, I loved how they introduced them in the Thrawn trilogy. They weren't really. I don't think they were expertly used throughout the old EU. Could have been done a lot better. The way they've been used now, again, I got to go back to Rebels, was pretty damn good. I liked it. Let's see here. EU was a minefield of dog turds. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Steve, I might pick it up a year from now when it shows up in Walmart for 397, 379 bin. Steve, that's your choice if you want to. I'm just saying I enjoyed the movie more so than what I thought. It wasn't the dumpster fire. If you got Disney Plus, which you should be watching for The Mandalorian, Steve. I'm telling you, The Mandalorian, it's not Baby Yoda that's saving Star Wars. Well, he kind of is, but The Mandalorian is on point. This is Star Wars the way original fans remember Star Wars, the way new fans should remember Star Wars. I mean, even my younger kids that grew up in the house watching Star Wars on video and Blu-ray and so on and so forth, they're loving The Mandalorian. And that's another comparison I could do. The Mandalorian gave me more story in a 30-minute episode, more feeling, more emotion, more attachment to the characters than this movie did, unfortunately. Uh, Fred, when it came out, was awesome, but we were hungry dogs barking for scraps. Yeah, that's true. Thrawn and Rebels was awesome. Such a shame they killed Rebels. It just started getting good. It depends. It did have some stinky episodes. There were a lot of filler episodes. Don't get me wrong, but when it had some of those more serious episodes, like every third or fourth episode, I dug it. I was like, holy crap, they're going there. Okay, they went there, and Filoni, he knows Star Wars. I trust him. He gave us a lot of good story and a lot of new canon, and I really want to know how much of that was based on George Lucas's input, even though Lucas was gone once Rebels gone once Rebels came on the air. But yeah, Filoni, I trust in Filoni. I do trust in Filoni. Um, Something almost never seen on American TV. They gave it an end. Yeah, that's true, Eli. They didn't really end it. They gave it an end, and it was a great ending. Baby Yoda's vehicle for humanizing of the protagonist. Still waiting to see what's going on with Baby Yoda. Is he a Sith? Well, I'm not going to say he is a Sith. He's a baby. Babies do not, all of us who have kids, we know they're not good, they're not evil, they're reactionary. So they only become good or evil based on how they are raised, if that makes any sense. Steve, I'm subscribing to Disney Plus next month for The Mandalorian. Steve, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed in The Mandalorian. I guarantee you will not be disappointed in The Mandalorian. Also, while you're on there, it's got all the great Disney movies from when we were kids. But also check out the Jeff Goldblum. Ask Jeff Goldblum. I can't remember what it is, but Jeff Goldblum has a little series on there about real stuff. Really funny, entertaining. Some of the stuff you kind of probably already picked up over the years, as far as like the sneaker episode and ice cream. It's fun, but it's on Disney, so it's assuming maybe these kids don't know about this stuff. Definitely check that one out too. Let's see. I had seen that the ratings dropped, so they canned it in favor of that stupid rating show. No, the ratings were actually pretty good. It's just that he wanted to end it on a high note and wanted to move on. Filoni's kind of like that. The racing show, I haven't watched Star Wars Resistance yet. I've heard mixed reviews of it. I like the ships. I totally dig the ship designs. I'm just not really interested because it is more geared towards younger viewers, more so than Clone Wars or Rebels was. Also, the Mando is the worst father figure ever. Yes, he is, but we love him for it because Mando is flawed. He's not the best starfighter pilot, as we saw in one episode. He gets his ass handed to him on more than one occasion and recovers. So yeah, it's made him more. He's not this omnipotent super god like Boba Fett was made out to be in the EU. Because remember, Boba Fett had a very small part in the series, in the movies. It was the EU that catapulted his popularity. So yeah. Also the Mando's worth, yeah. I'm wondering if he started out trying to help Mando win and then the dark side crept in. Again, I'm thinking it's more because he's a baby and he's reactionary. He doesn't know good from evil. He has to get trained. Mando's great because he's not invulnerable. Like, yeah, I just said that. Maybe wonder if they will kill off the baby. Could they go that far? No, it's Disney. They will not kill off the baby. I know they have no problem killing off side characters. We'll not go into that. We're not going to spoil that. But yeah, I don't think they'll kill Baby Yoda. I don't know how they're going to end the Baby Yoda thing. And I know he's called the child. He has no name, but we're calling him Baby Yoda. Yeah, I don't know. I know everyone loves the Mandalorian. Yeah, Resistance is not a racing show. That is just set up. Yeah, I'm kind of gathering that now. That Resistance is more about the earlier days of the Resistance, I guess. Excuse me. 3-2-1 flamethrower. Yeah, he does use the flamethrower quite a bit and to great effect. Predict season 2 will be figuring out what to do with the baby. I don't know. With episode 7, the Reckonings, the way the Reckoning ended, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it. I'd love to talk about it, but I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it yet, even though I'm sure it's all over the internet. But I would love to see. Oh, really, man? They got a season 3 announcement? Okay, so I'm all in. I mean, I'm already paid for like 2 years for Disney Plus. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. Give Resistance a chance. It's a perfect setup for an RPG. I will keep that in mind because my RPG is actually going pretty well. What I have found is, I know I've gone totally off track here. The Star Wars RPG is actually my game is actually running a lot better with just 2 of the players than with all 4 of my players for some reason. It could be because, well, one is a Mandalorian, one is a Great Jedi. The other 2 players, one is an X-wing pilot, and the other one is a fallen Jedi, and we're playing like 2 years prior to the events of Star Wars Rebels. So the rebellion is starting. The rebellion is starting or getting into a heavier gear. So I'm not sure. I just hope they make it a little longer. Who makes it a little bit longer? Oh, the episodes from Mandalorian. Yeah, I do too. Um, I mean, for what they're doing, I think they might push it to 45 minutes. Because honestly, an hour long show, we get great exposition in the Mandalorian. Um, an hour, they could do it. There's no doubt they could do it. But will the story be as engaging at 45 to an hour long than in the 30-minute window? Because in the 30-minute window, you have to give a full story, one whole episode story, and make you to engage. But you get that feeling that everything is there. With an hour long, can you really watch an hour long episode of the Mando? I mean, you got to really think about that one. Um, let's see. Also, great art design of characters. Yes, that's true. I don't want them longer. Any longer, it would feel like a ton of filler. True. About 45, I'd be happy. Yeah, I agree. Keep the storytelling tight. Yep. Um, but yeah. Back to Rise of Skywalker. Let's see. I already told you about Wedge. Okay. Another kind of spoilery thing, since we're talking about the television series and whatnot. We see the ghost in about 3 scenes during that big space battle. Don't know who's piloting it at all. Have no freaking clue who might be piloting it. It might be Wedge, because I'm not really sure what ship he was in during that scene. But I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm rather disappointed like that. I think this could have been a perfect opportunity for Hera to make an actual appearance, her first live action appearance. And contrary to rumors, Ahsoka Tano is not in the movie. She's not seen in the movie. If yeah, you might understand that. She's not seen in the movie. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Um, Anakin Skywalker. The whole thing about Force Ghosts, it's a given. Luke's a Force Ghost in this movie. He didn't just disappear and go to another planet like a lot of people were hoping. No, he did. He did die in the Last Jedi, and he's a Force Ghost in this movie. He is one of 2 Force Ghosts you see in this movie. I'm not going to say who the other one is, but I will tell you it is not Anakin Skywalker or Mace Windu or Obi-Wan or a lot of the other Jedi you might be thinking. They're not in. They're physically not in the movie. I'll put it like that. Um, let's see. Another thing, the Sith Troopers. They kind of hyped up the Sith Troopers. Maybe 2 minutes of screen time, maybe, and most of the time they're dying. Or I like to call them 3D print troopers because that's what they look like, PLA printed troopers. Yeah, no exposition with them at all. Now what I do want to say about the Palpatine stuff, it's done great. In my opinion, it's done great. Yeah, yes, Eli. Sith troopers were another Phasma thing. Yeah, yeah. But I was kind of expecting that. Same thing with the tread speeders. Pretty much what you see in the trailer. That's about it. Nothing special about them. Fred, which Heavy Mando figure do you have on order? The Black Series or the Hot Toys one that I am still debating to pre-order? Let me know. But yeah, back to the Palpatine stuff. It's actually really good. Again, this is just my opinion. Your opinion may differ, and you're more than welcome to that opinion. Um, but the Palpatine stuff, it's really good. It does make sense. Um, there's it's not one scene, it's a couple of scenes where they show him, and um, just the area that he's in really makes you wonder, is this really going to be the end of the Sith? Because I don't think so. Um, you know what another Phasma maneuver is? The Knights of fucking Ren. Another fucking Phasma maneuver. All this hype waiting up for the Knights of Ren. And what do we get? Just a few minutes of them. That's it. Hold on one second. My wife's talking. What? Okay. She said dinner's done. And hi. But yeah, another fucking goddamn Phasma thing. We got screwed over with the Knights of Ren. The, the biggest, one of the bigger things I was really looking forward to, we got screwed over on that. They're in there. They're in there a lot. Don't get me wrong. They're in there a lot. And the setup, the scenes that they're in, the way it's filmed, the camera angles, the setting, the lighting, they could make great, oh my god, they could be great horror elements to Star Wars just with the Knights of Ren. However, we get screwed. We really get screwed, and it pisses me off to no end. That that could have been great. The Knights of Ren are not what we were led to believe in The Force Awakens, though. You want me to spoil that for you? Fred, you got the Black Series one. $80? Dude. No, you got screwed. No. $80 for the Black Series Heavy Mando? It is a 1999 figure. Wait till that shit gets mass released. Get your money back. You're getting screwed. It's just like the Mando. The Mando figure, I've seen them for $80 to $130. Guess what? I saw a shit ton of them at Walmart today when I was there. $19.99. Get your money back on that. Was Poppy played by Matt Smith? No, Steve, he was not. He was played by Ian McDermott. Matt Smith's character is totally cut out of the damn movie. No idea who he was. I'm thinking that he was supposed to be a much younger version of the Emperor, and they totally cut that out whenever they did the reshoots and they did the recut. Yeah, he's not in there at all. I have no idea. He's not even in the credits. We sat through all the credits. He's not mentioned at all in this movie, so I don't know. I really don't know. um, let's see. JJ said no to Emperor Who. Maybe, I don't know. Because remember, he Matt Smith was in the marketing, a lot of the early marketing for the movie earlier this year, and he just kind of disappeared. So I don't know. I would really like to know who he was. Um, Also, Hux. Remember in The Force Awakens, Hux made that great speech to the First Order. Today is the day, so on and so forth. He's a total fucking bitch in this movie. It's like, really? It's like he could have been redeemed from that little comedy thing that he did in The Last Jedi. Nope, he just went further and further and further. Yeah. And then the plot twist with him made no sense. It was kind of stupid. It's not even explained. and and there's a lot of explanation in this movie. Like literally within the scene when they have to figure out something, they kind of explain why they got to figure out, and then somebody explains to them, okay, well, this is what you have to do it. Like, really? By the way, they redo that speech in Resistance, and it's good. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check out Resistance once the Mando's over next week. Next week is the last episode of The Mandalorian. Excuse me. Which should be good. Um, but once the Mandalorian's done, I'm gonna go ahead and watch Resistance. Like I said, I really dig a lot of the ships. I love the bright colors on them. It's something different. They're clean. They're not dirty. So I'm gonna check that out. I will check that out. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. He had his "I'm Spartacus" moment, and it was just all downhill after the Force Awakens. He could have been a great character, and then they bring in this other character. What do they call him? Imperious General. I can't remember what his name is. But apparently he's over Hux, new character that we never saw before, heard mentioned. I guess he was supposed to be the big bad guy that's supposed to be like Moff Tarkin, but he's just a general, and uh, I liked him. He did what he was supposed to do. It was just the story around him kind of sucked. Elf Bay. He had to spark, by the way, did the speech. We will chat. Fred, another side character who we get no details on Hux. Yeah, unfortunately. The biggest complaint in the trilogy is that none of the villains have any weight to them. And I agree. I totally agree. Snoke, you get the answer about Snoke in this movie, by the way. You finally get an answer to it. It is not, it depends how much of a Star Wars nerd you are. It has nothing to do with the answer that Pablo Hidalgo said um, before The Last Jedi was released that, oh, yeah, Snoke, he was actually in a Galaxy of Fear novel, children's novel from the old expanded universe. No. Nope. Don't even stop searching for it. That's not it. Not it at all. Read, even the base Star Destroyer captain had more gravity than any of the villains in the new trilogy. You know what? The Star Destroyer captain in Rogue One on Vader's ship in Rogue One had more weight than a lot of these villains. You know, the dude that just kind of said, "Lord Vader, you know the rebel ship is disabled," and he says, "Prepare my ship." And the guy just, "Yes, my lord," and he just turns and looks at General Radiss's ship. I think he had more character development and more facial expression than the rest of the villains in the movie. Yeah. And let's see if you guys are watching on Facebook. I can't see the chat. Let me try to go over to the chat over there, see if there's chat. Let me see. Just trying to check. Nope, not there. Not there. Nope. So I guess everybody's watching live on YouTube. Okay. Wow, we've already gone 32 minutes. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, agreed. SC Kevin. Hell, if Hux was the big bad with Kylo as the Vader stand-in, I would have been happy. Yeah, he would have been good. Osmo was a fool. He had more screen presence. Yeah, he did. I believe Admiral Ozzel was Admiral Ozzel. That he might have been an idiot, but he got to that position somehow. But the moment he took his helmet off, he was no longer interesting. Kylo, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that one or not. Kylo, Kylo in this movie, he has some good scenes in this movie. He has some actually really good scenes in this movie. Um, More so than he did in The Last Jedi, to be honest. That I'm not talking about script wise or story wise. Scenes in of themselves better in this film than really in both previous films. You cannot go wrong with classic British actors as Imperials. No, you cannot. Those to me are the standard for Imperials. I believe it was in one of the EU novels where they said most Imperials that go to the Imperial Academy learn how to speak High Coruscant, which is the equivalent of basically having a British accent, because even Leia used High Coruscant in A New Hope, because she had that slight British accent, and then later as she became a rebel, more of a rebel, I should say, than she already was. She totally lost that accent. My favorite part of Last Jedi is when Snoke calls Kylo out. I really have no favorite parts of The Last Jedi. I really don't. I really don't. That's pretty sad. Posh English. Yeah, you could call it posh English. He got his ass kicked, so I couldn't be invested in him as a villain. I guess you're talking about Snoke. Not sure who you're talking about, Fred. But I'm thinking you're talking about Snoke. And yes, I didn't like Snoke to begin with. It was like he's supposed to be this big badass dude. Where is he? Kylo. Like I said, Kylo gets some redeeming qualities in this movie. It's yeah, this movie was definitely more Kylo. And speaking of which, with Rey, it's been complained that Rey is a Mary Sue, which I kind of agree with. Force Awakens and Last Jedi, she was the Mary Sue. This movie, she is not. Now, the only problem I have with that is that we don't know exactly how much time has passed between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. We were told at one point it's been 3 years. Now it was like it's only been 1 year. With the amount of training that she had by Leia, it's possible she could be this powerful, but she's definitely not a Mary Sue in this. She's actually has a real character, actually finally formed in this movie. Gets her ass handed to her, no doubt she does. Um, Also, surprise, surprise, Poe is not gay. I know there was a lot of rumors. Everybody said Poe's the new gay character in Star Wars. No, he actually tries to get like a booty call once or twice in this from another female character, a new character. I'm not going to say which one, but he has a history with her. She was definitely a former lover of his. So yeah, Poe's not the gay character. We do find out who the gay character is. I don't even know why that's a big thing. Like seriously, I don't know. It escapes me. We find out who it is, and it's not a major player in the movies at all. She's been in she's been in all three of the trilogy, but she's not a major player. It makes no difference. And the scene that you find out that she's gay is kind of like, um, okay, she's gay. Yay, move on. Yeah, it looked more like they just put it in there to be SJW correct. I don't know. I don't think it was even needed because it doesn't further the story or anything like that. People want to ship people in anything now. What? Kissing at the end, it was so forced. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into that kiss scene, but it does seem like it was kind of forced in there because I know the whole theater said, "What the fuck?" when that scene happened. If we're talking about the same one, is it Carrie Fisher's daughter that's gay? No, it's not Carrie Fisher's daughter. She actually has her character kind of expanded a little bit. So she, people know who she is. People really may not even know who this other character is. Uh, People want to ship people in anything. I still don't understand what you're getting. Shipping is putting two characters together. I don't know. Oh, I get it. That is a stupid fucking term. People want to ship people together. That is stupid. Yeah, young people. That's fucking stupid. That sounds stupid. That really sounds stupid. That sounds like human trafficking. What the fuck is wrong with you? Learn English, motherfucker. Like everyone parted for the shot. Relationship. Just say relationship. Shipping makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like seriously, that sounds like you're human trafficking. Okay, well it's about 10:43 here in my time. I'm gonna wrap this up here in just a minute. Let me see. As far as starships go in this movie, the Y-wing, it's a much sleeker design. I like it. Looking forward to getting that model whenever Bandai releases it. Um, the A-wing is used pretty well. The B-wing, It looks like the regular B-wing. It does. It looks like the B-wing from Return of the Jedi. So, I mean, other than the engine and the cells in the back, that's about it. That's really it. That's really all that's different. And we don't really see it do a lot of bombing runs. Um, the X-wings, the T-75 or T-80. There's some T-75s, some T-85s. You just got to know what to look for. The only difference really is the nose cone, and I believe the angle of the the cannons on the wings. That's about it. Um, there's a rebel, not a rebel, and it's not even a resistance landing ship, but there's a landing ship on there, a drop ship, which looks really cool. I really dig it. Looking forward to that. There's another ship, excuse me, that they use quite a bit in the movie. I have no idea what its designation is. It's pretty cool. It's an older ship. Looks pretty cool. Um, you actually might see it in a trailer. Actually, I could go ahead and say this: it's the same ship that was Ray's parents took off in the Force Awakens. So we get to see it, see inside. It looks pretty cool. What that ship was used for is an interesting twist that I didn't was not expecting. Um, Otherwise, the rest of the ships, there's a lot of ships on scene, and that's another thing. There's a whole lot of action in this movie. It is an action movie. It's too much action at some point. Too much action, not enough story, like a lot of engaging story. Um, there's a lot of just don't think about it, watch it, accept it, move on. It's like, but you're kind of like, well, wait, why did you get? How did we get from here to here to here in like 2 minutes? Um, and then the flight times in space or hyperspace jumps are like nearly instantaneous for some reason. It's like, are they only in 1 parsec of the galaxy? Is that what's going on? It's going to be interesting to see the official the official maps of the galaxy according to the Force Awakens, because they're not doing a lot of jumping at all. And hyperspace skipping, yeah, something that's not supposed to be possible according to both official canon and Star Wars EU canon, or the EU. Not supposed to be able to do this hyperspace skipping maneuver that they do in this movie. This is not a spoiler. It's been in one of the TV spots. It made no sense. It did and it didn't. It was There's one part of the hyperspace skipping scene that's just like, what the hell? How is this even possible? How are they not dead? Pretty, yeah. Just, yeah, yeah. There's lots of plot holes and a lot of more questions than answered. But again, I think that's more of Disney saying, yeah, we're gonna put out a book and comics to answer all that, maybe in like 2 or 3 years. So yeah, in closing, is this the end of the Skywalker saga? Yeah, it is the end of the Skywalker saga. Was it a satisfying ending to the Skywalker saga? No, not at all. Not really. I enjoyed the film. Don't hate it. I won't mind watching it again. Going to theater, maybe getting different seats this time. I wasn't like bloody nose, bare front, all the way up in the front, breakneck. But I was kind of up there, so I didn't get to see the full screen, kind of, sort of. So I'd probably go sit further back. And the theater for a Star Wars opening on a Thursday night, first showing, it was kind of empty. That was pretty sad. My son's friend was able to get a seat today. Our theater has assigned seating. He was able to get a seat, purchase his ticket today, and get a seat right next to us. That's how empty it was. That's how pre-sales tickets were. When we got out of the movie, there was no line for the second showing. or for the third. It would be the third showing by that time, because the next showing was going to be at 7. By the time we got out, there was still time for at least 2 more showings this evening. Nobody, man. Nobody. All right, so that's it. I'm out. Take it easy, guys. I'm going to end this stream. Hopefully, you enjoyed it.